"Mom, I have nothing to wear today," says the student getting ready for school. We've all been in that situation before where we just don't have enough time to do laundry every day. My purpose today is to persuade you to support mandatory uniforms in public schools, grades K through 12. As someone who has had children that were required to wear uniforms, I have done research on what positive effects it could bring into the classroom. Some of you may feel that this could be a disadvantage, having students who believe that their child could lose their individuality by wearing a uniform are sadly mistaken. Much of the students perceive as unique styles are part of a larger niche, which is not very different from uniforms. Besides, school hours should be used for learning and expressing individuality through your schoolwork, not through your clothes. I will begin by discussing why students pay attention to appearance in the process of studying, and then discuss the reasons and the solution to why uniforms should be mandatory. With our roadmap in place, let's begin with discussing the way students look than to process of studying. Students K through 12 pay more attention to the way they look than to the process of studying. To begin, a bulletin published by the National Association of Secondary School principals state that when all students are wearing the same outfit, they are less concerned about how they look and how they fit in with their peers. Thus, they can concentrate on their schoolwork. Moreover, a lot of students dress in an acceptable way and ignore the criticism of teachers. Uniforms raise both student and teacher expectations. In research studies I've done on early childhood development, a direct link was found between a student's appearance and expectations and the opinions about the student. It's asserted that when a teacher is presented with two students, one who is neat and clean and the other unkept, the teacher will generally give an attention and positive experience to the positive expectation of performance capabilities to the neater student. As you can see, from the school uniforms should be mandatory for risk K through 12. You have where the uniforms that you can see in my discussion that there is a difference between the neater and not. And then also should we change the uniforms, and showing in this graph that full uniforms, that only 28.21% stated that they would like full uniforms, and then 71.79% now let's stay how we are. Uniforms also raise students' expectations of themselves. When dressed neatly and seriously, students tend to behave seriously. Often teachers find calmer, more polite, and attentive students. Students seem to feel more comfortable in that way. They look and they have more confidence in themselves. With the knowledge of students K through 12 pay more attention to the way they look than to the process of studying, we can now look at the reasons why. There are two major reasons why students pay more attention to the way they look than to the process of studying. First of all, students tend to judge and perceive each other on accordance with physical appearance and clothes. If the mode dress does not correspond with the topical demands of fashion, it might become a reason for bullying. When all students are dressed alike, competition between students over clothing choices and the teasing of those who are dressed less expensive or less fashionable outfits can be eliminated. Second, a lot of students try to demonstrate the material welfare of sexuality and to receive the respect of the collective by dressing in some specific way. The factors could lead to the fact that the students might look provocative. In 2011, Arkansas passed a law that requires districts to prohibit clothes that expose underwear, buttocks, or female students' breasts. Students' appearance, the court said, can be regulated in a vulgar, indecent, obscene, insulting, or if it can carry a message that encourages inappropriate behavior, according to the Education Commission of the states. Now that you have learned about the reasons why students pay more attention to the way they look than to the process of studying, let's move on to the benefits implementing mandatory uniform policies. The solution, which is to implement a mandatory uniform policy, offers two benefits. One benefit is decreased bullying. It will reduce the number of opportunities to bully those who cannot afford to wear fashionable clothes that are extremely popular among students. According to Sherry Bowen, should kids wear school uniforms? It's another benefit. It's an improved learning environment. If all the students look the same way in accordance with the standards, they will concentrate more on the process of learning than on the way how they are dressed and who is dressed better. It can be regarded as most optimal solution in the situation. In conclusion, we have learned about why students pay more attention to appearance in the process of studying and the reasons and the solution to why uniforms should be mandatory. Let's review what we've learned today. First, we learned about why students K through 12 pay more attention to the way they look than to the process of studying. When all students are wearing the same outfit, they are less concerned about how they look and how they fit in with their peers. They can concentrate on their schoolwork. And then students dress in an acceptable way and ignore the criticism of teachers. Next, we've learned that are two major reasons why students pay more attention to the way they look than to the process of studying. Students judge each other in accordance with the physical appearance and clothes. Students demonstrate their material welfare and sexuality. And then finally, we have learned the solution, which is to implement a mandatory uniform policy, which offers two benefits. One is to decrease bullying, and second, to improve learning environment. By requiring school uniforms in public schools, education will improve students' success. Uniforms improve student success as well. It will enforce discipline towards learning, and there will be less violence. Peer pressure will reduce due to the less distractions on what everyone else looks like. Finally, I believe that school is there for learning and not for fashion. If people concentrate more on the fashion, less on the fashion and more on schooling and education, I think it would benefit for everyone. Thank you.